Hey everyone, it's Alan Schimmel, DevOps.com, Container Journal, Security Boulevard, and we're here for a great interview, hopefully, with Ryan Lloyd, VP of Products for Testing and Development at SmartBear. Ryan, welcome.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Great to have you here. So Ryan, before we jump into today's news that we want to discuss, I wanted to just, quickly kind of do a level set. SmartBear is a company, I think most people have probably heard of it, but they may not be 100% sure at the full breadth of the SmartBear portfolio. So why don't we talk a little bit about, who is SmartBear and what are the kind of products and services you guys offer?
Yeah, absolutely. So SmartBear Software is a company with a lot of history. And if you don't recognize the company brand, it's very likely that you recognize one or more of our product brands. So we are the company behind some of the key product brands like Swagger, SoapUI, cross-browser testing, Test Complete. So quite a diverse portfolio of products focused on helping our customers who are building software, help them build, test, and monitor their software applications.
Great. So Ryan, big news out today is SmartBear has made another acquisition. You guys have acquired Zephyr, is that correct?
That's right. Yeah, we've announced our intent to acquire Zephyr, a company in a similar market space as us.
So it's a similar market space, but let's get specific. What does Zephyr do?
Great. So Zephyr is a collection of tools for testing, and specifically focused on the area of test management, managing the process of testing.
Great. And you mentioned the intent to acquire. So I guess that means it hasn't yet closed, but you're both private companies, and I would imagine it closes fairly quickly.
That's right. We expect in the next 30 days, subject to the usual regulatory approvals.
Yep. Fantastic. So, Ryan, one of the things I read in the backgrounder on this one was that, one of the big pluses here is Zephyr's presence within the Atlassian market, the Atlassian ecosystem. And SmartBear actually is already a big player in that Atlassian ecosystem, aren't they?
Yeah, so we have a couple of products that have plugins to the Atlassian ecosystem. I mean, the reality is 60, 70% of our customers are using Atlassian's tools. They're pretty dominant in the area of software teams for managing some part of the software development process. So it's a very strategic and important ecosystem for SmartBear as a company. And certainly Zephyr improves our ability to reach that ecosystem of users and make sure that they're aware of all of the tools and capabilities that SmartBear can offer.
Yep. And Ryan, 60 to 70% use Atlassian. I'm going to imagine the overwhelming majority are using Jira and then maybe Jira Plus.
Jira, certainly Jira is probably the most prevalent. Confluence gets tagged on with Jira quite a lot. And then Bitbucket actually is also becoming quite popular as well. Bitbucket, GitHub, GitLab, they're sort of three of the same in terms of enterprise solutions for developers.
Got it. So I don't want to turn this into being about Atlassian and their products, but obviously they do have a big ecosystem. There are a lot of third parties such as SmartBear and Zephyr who move a lot of service and product, via that marketplace. But let's talk a little bit, similar, but where's the overlap, or is there any overlap between what Zephyr and SmartBear's offerings are about?
Yeah, so SmartBear offers a broad portfolio of products, and certainly a couple of the products we have pre-acquisition were in this test management space. What Zephyr brings to the table, though, is a solution that is natively built around Jira and delivered through the marketplace. So what that means to be delivered through the marketplace is it's a native Jira solution that Jira administrators and customers can install directly from within their Jira instance. So it provides a very seamless extension of their workflows within Jira to handle some of these test management scenarios, which we think is really important to teams that are trying to consolidate their processes and have a unified approach to that.
Excellent. I guess one of the issues, and you're, with your title, and your responsibilities around VP products for test and dev, just in a number, how many products are there in test and dev now within SmartBear, and then if we add the Zephyr suite to the mix?
Yeah, so we had 5 products in that portfolio today. Zephyr brings 3 additional products into that portfolio. So we're now up to 8 products in our test and development business, as well as a range of products in our other business unit around API.
You know what? That's a lot of products to be managing, huh?
It is. I mean, SmartBear has grown a lot over the years through both acquisition of companies and building new organic products and bringing them to market. It's a pretty exciting time for us. We're pre-acquisition at about 450 employees globally. So it's an exciting time to be part of this company.
Absolutely is, man. So, another, not necessarily unique, but another kind of factor you have to play into the SmartBear, and I don't know about Zephyr as much, is that some of your solutions, have open source kind of versions out there that you guys help manage the open source communities around these, as well as the commercial versions of the products themselves.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, core to our business is really a couple of philosophies. One is we want to be open and interoperable with all the tools that are part of the ecosystems that software teams are using. And so in some cases that means, commercial opportunities to partner with companies like Atlassian. In other cases, it means we want to be a part of an existing open source ecosystem or help build up and nurture an open source ecosystem. So certainly when we brought SoapUI and Swagger into our product portfolios, that was all about really taking that existing organic ecosystem where developers and testers are going for tools and helping build and nurture and develop that ecosystem.
Excellent. So what kind of special challenges, you specifically, right? You own the products, you're VP of products here. What challenges does that pose for you, having these open source kind of versions and tools and communities? I mean, you don't want to burn them, right? Because ultimately you kind of bite the hand that feeds you. So, let's talk about that. What is that? How does that manifest itself with you?
Yeah, certainly. I think there's a brand and a culture that exists around open source products, and I guess it's our responsibility as stewards of those brands to really continue to nurture that community. And that means we've got to make balanced decisions about where we choose to add features to the open source products versus where we commercialize some of those features. So there's a constant balance there and kind of evaluating and making sure we're engaging with the community. And then more broadly, beyond just our open source products, I think one of the biggest challenges in the software tools space and market is the interoperability that's required between tools these days. Developers and testers, they're demanding practitioners. They want their tools to work together. And there's a huge diversity of tools out there in the market. So as a product manager, that's what keeps me up at night, is making sure all these tools are compatible and working to support these complex workflows.
Absolutely. I mean, in one way of looking at it is, if there wasn't such a big market, there wouldn't be all these tools.
That's true.
Another way of looking at it is also that it presents a tremendous opportunity for consolidation and for one or a few products to emerge as true market leaders. And then you'll see it kind of, you'll see the amount of products in the market kind of consolidate. As the old saying, if you're either leading, following, or get out of the way, right? If you're not top 3, you got to ask yourself, do you want to stay in that market? But when we talk about the testing market, and in DevOps, we talk about continuous testing. It certainly is a huge, huge market here.
Yes, it is. And it's one that's continually evolving and shaping, right? So, there's traditional test tools that have been around for a decade or more, and then there's sort of emerging products that are coming to market. And I think it's how all these work together and evolve to support the changing workflows and even just organizational changes within environments.
Yep. So another area of the testing space, Ryan, that I'm interested in personally is security and security testing. And it's really funny when 20 years ago when I was into security, when I first got into security infosec, QA was here and security was there, and never the twain shall meet, right? But now, we're starting to see security become synonymous with quality. That's the Q in QA.
Yeah.
And so security testing and other kinds of testings are starting to merge. What do you guys see with that at SmartBear?
Yeah, I think what's driving a lot of that is the agile workflows that teams are adopting. So as they increase the pace of trying to deliver and release software, they're being forced to evaluate quality and security earlier in the life cycle and more from the context of the development team, rather than having a separate isolated team that deals with that downstream or after the fact. Right. So I think that's the driver. So there's definitely a lot of demand for your agile workflows to support testing by design and security by design. From our perspective, I think that opens up some unique opportunities for adjacencies and areas that SmartBear can continue to expand to in the future.
Yeah, I mean, so what you're describing is almost the classic shift left, right? As we start shifting testing security and security testing left into the development life cycle. But it's also the reality of it's been called the modern software factory, right? Where it's an assembly line and it's a production line for software, and where traditional QA, traditional testing, security testing, where they fit into that life cycle has shifted left, but also is where we used to think, oh, QA was going away and security people were going to give up control of security. Not the case. They've become more important, right? But also highly automated where they can be, and clearly defined as part of this factory, if you will.
Yeah, it's really just about reshaping the responsibilities and improving the collaboration across the whole unit or team that's now responsible for delivering iterations of software.
So Brian, so that begs the question then, what does that mean for you as a product manager, right? Where you used to sell to a QA engineer or a security guy, security testing sold to a security person. But now your audience includes the guys using Jira and Bitbucket and a bunch of other tools. It's not just Atlassian, obviously. So you have new customers to serve and to service.
That's absolutely right. Yeah, so over the last several years, we've been focusing on how to modernize our portfolio to support those sort of emerging needs, both the process change that's going on with our customers and the persona change that's happening in many instances. So, the acquisition of Swagger is a great example of us providing tools that help developers earlier in the life cycle. So where we had SoapUI to help with API testing from a QA perspective, Swagger aims to solve some of that further upstream by enabling more collaboration around the definition of those APIs to begin with. And oh, by the way, making sure that interoperates with SoapUI so you get leverage out of that API definition to generate some of those tests and automate it and ensure there's sort of a seamless workflow and thread. And so we're continuing down this path of modernizing our portfolio. We've acquired cross-browser testing about 2 years ago to help companies address some of the modern types of applications that they're looking to test, integrated more deeply with Selenium, which has become hugely popular in sort of the developer organizations to drive automated web and mobile testing. And then with HipTest and Zephyr, again, it's furthering our relevance for those software teams that are on that journey.
Excellent. Ryan, last kind of issue, or not issue, it's not an issue at all, but the last area I wanted to talk to you about was, so you've got 5, there's 3 more coming in, that's just test and dev, you have an AP kind of silo as well within SmartBear. How do you, I mean, I've been in the boat, not quite as many as you, but when you have so many different products and then a company name, how do you brand, right? Do you continue branding the individual products? Do you throw SmartBear in front of all of them? But some of them already have, names that may be in fact bigger than SmartBear, as you said in the beginning. You know, again, as a product manager, you have to think about that a bit. You know, what's the right answer there, if there
Yeah,
is?
so I think SmartBear is going through a bit of a transformation in that regard. Um, as I said, and as you pointed out, we've had very strong product brands up to this point. We want to continue to nurture those product brands. So no intent for those to go away, because we love the high velocity try buy model we have around our products, where developers and the practitioners can find the right tool for the job and get started. But we've gone through an exercise on how we can integrate our products in the right ways, like the Swagger SoapUI example I provided, to create those sort of interesting workflows. And we're building up, the SmartBear Academy, our SmartBear community, our big user conference, to help elevate the SmartBear brand and create more awareness of the portfolio of products we have, how they work together, how they fit into the ecosystem. And I think we're just at the start of that journey right now. We'll see a lot more as we launch into the year next year around what we're doing from a brand perspective to galvanize the company and all the great products we have.
Excellent. Well, Ryan, we're about out of time, but first of all, congratulations on the Zephyr announcement and anticipated acquisition here.
Thank
It
you.
could make for some good times, and continued success with SmartBear and everything you guys have going on.
I appreciate it. All right. Great talking to you, Alan.
All right, Ryan Lloyd, VP Products Test and Development for SmartBear, on SmartBear's acquisition of Zephyr here on DevOps.com. And we'll talk to you soon, everyone. Have a great day.